guys and gals, Xavier here, signing in for Under the Earth from the lovely town of Muizenberg, where I stayed last night after my first day out on the road here in South Africa. But today we'll begin our first long segment, beginning South Africa's world famous garden route. I hear it's beautiful. Pretty excited for it. Hope you stretch your legs. We're going for a ride. I just saw a sign that said wild animals. Didn't specify which kind, but what fun would that be? So I just stopped in the town of Somerset West because part of my seat clamp was broken. So I find a bike shop and the mechanic finds a part to replace my broken one, and I ask him about if he knows any good places to camp, and he recommends this town, but it's not on the way that I was going, which was the main highway. It is the kind of a long detour along the coast. But he tells me that it's super beautiful and that it's an amazing campsite. So I figure, why not? Not in a hurry. Then I look at the map and it was 2:30 and it was 60 kilometers away. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get there and set up my tent before it gets dark. But should be pretty scenic, so I think it'll be worth it. About 5 o'clock. I can tell the sun is going to set soon, so I just pulled off here hoping for maybe a campsite or just finding a place to camp. I see these two women walking. I asked them and one of them offered for me to camp on her property, so free camping tonight. Good day. So as these things often go, they later told me that they've been having problems with baboons, so they've invited me for dinner. Because apparently they've had baboons break into here through a very small crack in a window,
and cause havoc, so they thought that maybe we could have issues sleeping in the tent. So I brought my stuff in, but then, as I suspected might happen, I ended up sleeping inside.
They then invited me for dinner, and I took a shower, slept in a cozy bed, and got breakfast in the morning. So huge thanks to Lynn and Jeff. Really appreciate your help. It's got me all ready for another amazing day here in South Africa. So we've made it to Betty's Bay, where apparently you can check out some penguins. So if you watched my previous video, you'll know that we went to Simonstown, where I went to see penguins, but you had to pay to see the colony, and without paying we only got to see one penguin. But here, apparently it is possible to see the colony without having to pay an entrance fee. So that's why we're here, and hopefully we'll get to see some penguins. I believe that's a younger penguin there. Doesn't have its colors yet. So this is the nature reserve just outside of Hermanus, where I slept last night. saw a sign warning about baboons, but
was not harassed and actually got some decent sleep.
A lot more sleep than I would have anticipated for my first night in the Kingdom of Animals. So we're leaving the coast, heading 80 kilometers on the day to Napier. At least that's the plan. Pretty happy with the landscapes today. And it looks like we can get some more on the horizon here. Possible wild camping prospect here. Doesn't look like we're going to make it to Napier. Today was quite a bit more hilly than I was anticipating, but it was a nice one. No complaints. Time to celebrate. Napier. Probably get some water here. Did I mention that wine is 4 times cheaper here than the Canada or US? Darn wild chickens. back on the National Highway. That was a fun detour of going to the beach. There was some nice scenery, got to see penguins. And then the road to the beach was not really continuing, so I got back inland. And it's been nice, but very hilly, moving kind of slow, but haven't minded so much because pretty unpopulated lands, mostly farms, so the camping's been easy. So today I only had 40 kilometers to get into Swellendam. We're almost there now. I'll kind of recharge, get clean, work on some videos. So I've made it to Swellendam, to the only backpackers in town. Fortunately, they don't have dorms anymore, only private rooms, which are about $30. But the camping is about $15, which isn't a great deal, but I've already gone to buy groceries, and included with the camping is a kitchen access. So I'm kind of stuck at this point. Gonna have to take it. But it's a pretty nice kitchen. Let's get cooking. Pasta with some veggies. And I can take a shower, which I am pretty due for. Quite enjoyed that campsite, but I have to get going at those prices. Get going despite my encumbrance, since I bought meals for 2 nights and wine for 2 nights, thinking that it would be backpackers, but now that it's not, I must continue bearing heavy loads. And my objective for today is another camping in Riverdale, which is about 82 kilometers away. Let's see if we make it. Big bird. A lot bigger than the ones I saw in the cold southern Argentinian Patagonia. Must be because there's more to eat around here. Not that we're in a jungle. It's actually gotten a lot hotter here. Drier, it seems, which I'm definitely not complaining about. Been no rain. Town of Riversdale, where we'll probably be spending the night if the camping is still open at this time of the year. So I've made to the campsite at about 4:40. Reception was closed, and there is a kitchen with pots and pans that I can use to make my food. It was all worth it. Tonight I shall be filming my accomplishment.
I know where I'm heading for breakfast.
There's been a KFC in almost every town that I've stopped at so far in South Africa. They're easily the biggest fast food chain. Outnumber McDonald's even by quite a bit. And probably the cheapest restaurant that I've found. Get a few pieces of chicken and fries for the equivalent of $2 US. So I've been taking full advantage of that. And especially since it's calorically dense food, it's exactly what I need for days like today. Objective is 91 kilometers to Mossel Bay. Let's do it. Mossel Bay, back on the Indian Ocean. So for the first time in a week, I'm sleeping indoors. And it's a pretty good deal, 110 Rand for this bed in a dormitory. Best deal so far in South Africa. It's gonna be a nice sleep on a bed. But definitely enjoyed camping. So my original plan for today, given the cheap hostel, was to spend a day making videos, laundry, etc. Then I looked at the weather forecast and I saw that the next 2 days were going to be rainy and that today was the nice day. So at checkout, I called an audible and I elected for another sunny South African day. Why not? So we've circumnavigated the city of George just because I hadn't heard any glowing endorsements to visit it. And I believe here, or coming up, is the small town of Wilderness where we'll be spending the night. Another night, another nice hostel. Back on road. So I had a pretty productive day yesterday and I was able to refuel my appetite for cycling. And this morning I was talking to the guy working the hostel and he proposed what sounds like a delightful alternative to the N2 highway, which will be a mix of well, should be mostly gravel going around the kind of national parks and lakes that are north of the highway. And listening to and hopefully seeing a few birds on the way. Should be nice. Also, it should be nice and flat because we're going next to an old railroad bed. Hey buddies.
Yeah, great enough to. And that must be what the baby is up to.
Pretty nice place. And with that, we are back on the N2. That doesn't mean the scenery stops here. So I just passed the town of Muizenberg, where I was originally planning to stay for the night. But I felt like I hadn't had enough cycling for today and I was really enjoying myself, so I'm going to keep going. Despite the fact that it's not the greatest idea because it's 4:15 and I still have 35 kilometers to go. But sometimes you gotta go with the feeling. Nothing but climbing so far out of Muizenberg. Maybe this was the greatest idea, but won't call it yet. I think the problem yesterday is that I had planned for an easy day
and I was riding like it was an easy day. But I don't really like easy days. I like really pushing it, so this is what happened. Wasn't too bad, although I am a little hungry now.
Say that bicycling after dark in Africa is a no-go for a few reasons, the main one being contracting malaria, because the mosquitoes with malaria typically bite at night. But the good news is that in South Africa, the majority of the country currently is malaria free, so I did not have that fear. So we have maybe another 15 kilometers to go till Plettenberg Bay, which I hear is very nice. Nice indeed. But the main reason why I came to Plettenberg Bay is because I heard that there was an absolutely amazing hike in Roberg National Park, where we are now. That will be the next video on the channel. So since we are in Plettenberg Bay, this will be the end of this journey. Bicycling through South Africa's Western Cape, through the garden route. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Definitely did, given that this was the beginning of my journey bicycling through Africa from Cape Town to Cairo, or at least attempting to do so. And before that, I bicycled from Canada to Patagonia, Argentina. And all those videos are available on this very same YouTube channel. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of all the places that I went and everything that I got to see and do, that map is available over on my website, followthehumofear.com. And if you'd like to follow the adventures, you can do so by subscribing to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below the video. And drop me a comment and a like to let me know what you thought about the video. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.